Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. There's something on my face mask, and I washed it many times. Okay, they make it so it's nearly impossible for me to get some kind of face mask that is effective. And they keep fueling me everywhere I go because they're deeply ashamed of themselves and their families. They're disgraced. They know they're sending their families straight to hell. They're leading them to hell because they're not men. A bunch of old deranged idiots, middle-aged fools, what have you. Okay, thank God I'm not them, and thank God I'm not in their family. Thank God I'm not following them. This is the next part in the rules for engagement in combat playlist. And it's from a book I'm making this now, about 3 pages long. I'll probably stop after this page here. I was actually working on this today. Point number 22. One should make the distinction between themselves and a terrorist. They also should make the distinction between themselves and an immoral criminal. Zionists, Islamic terrorists like ISIS, and hate groups like the Aryan nations are mere worldly cults. They are mostly controlled by the governing class and the government. Every day the American government is stupid enough to persecute me and to try to terrorize me. They have sought to scapegoat Russia, and they may try to blame the CIA. You know, the CIA is involved, but they may try to just blame just them, right? And this must be considered when someone in the divine order considers the correct and moral course of action. You might watch this on low and know that if it's hard to listen to, it's because of white, Jewish, and LGBT supremacists who want to make their people seem superior at all costs. Are you dumb enough to believe that they're superior? That is the question. Those outside the divine order should consider the next best thing, as those in the dragon spirit of the governing class are vile and immature scum who have ruined their lives and their offsprings, and they have turned them into beasts mixed with prostitutes with no way back. Okay, obviously people should obey God through me, but after my flesh dies, there'll be no way for them to repent, and no one should reproduce no matter what. Point number 23. Beasts are self-destructive fools hell-bent on folly, and they consume their own life essence while ruining everything around them, especially if they wear suits and pretend to be suitable husbands. They can't help but wittingly or otherwise lie in wait in Satan's spirit, attacking everything that seeks to leave Satan's prison. They also roam around Satan's prison seeking souls to burn and devour. The Bible is by Bel and written on behalf of Satan, but it has truth and confessions coded into it, right? So they're subtly admitting that they're trying to set you up here and there in the Bible. We'll get to that in the next video I make here. It is insane to not consider that people who are outside of the divine order are evil. So if you don't consider people who are outside the divine order evil, then you're insane. That's what I meant to say. So it's insane to not consider that. And it's also insane to not know that. Point number 24. Think clearly and not like dragons, beasts, and prostitutes. People are so often the offspring of idolaters and fair-weather demon-dating whores that it is very unlikely that I will have a single follower. This makes it more clear that I am the top martial artist ever possible. This is the most difficult time to be set apart as a true natural alpha, and it is the last possible time to be a true alpha. God made me the best ever, and as such the wisest ever for a reason. I continue to be decisive with statements like that and not cocky. Be humble and carefully consider situations. A recurring theme in this book is you have to carefully consider situations. Point number 25. Beasts respond like betas and brute beasts. Wise men respond with brilliant responses. Point number 26. Overlook minor insults only when it makes sense. And do not let mere whites, Jews, LGBT people, and others abuse you more than you have retaliated. Do not think like a priest or a mere cop. Rather think like a man. So in other words, when I go through life, one of the things I made sure of, because of their extreme racial animosity toward me, their extreme contempt, their desire to put me beneath them in a Roman slave system, Greek slave system, English, American, French, you name it, in their colonial slave system, I made sure I trampled their spirits into next week. And then when all is said and done, everybody who's accepted the boundaries of white, Jewish, and LGBT supremacy, okay, according to their deeds, according to their position, according to how much they benefit, I made sure they're trampled thoroughly, and no one could win a debate against me on whether I triumphed over them, putting myself infinitely above them. Why they have lost so badly they resort to interfering with my videos, hiding in the shadows like a dog, and whimpering on their way to hell. Just complete cowards, just fools. Okay, a man has to stand firm for what's right. They never grew up to be a man. There's no comparison. Point number 27. Do not think like a racial supremacist, especially a white one. In this time, they are basically the main enemies of God, especially when they are rich. Point number 28. Think logic, strategy, insight, and wisdom, and do not follow the crowd. Point number 29. The wise warrior thinks surgical strikes over brute force.